You know, there's a lot of talk right now about uncertainty in the TCG collecting space. Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary, Pokemon, Weiss Schwartz. A lot of news, a lot of talk, a lot of negative talk and uncertainty. So what are people really buying? Well, I'm going to give you a small sample of some things that I've been buying. We can have a little discussion about why I'm going after these particular cards. First one up, we have Joan of Arc, Mad Maiden. There are 2 Joan of Arc cards that we're going after. Let's see if I've got the other one in this batch here. All right, are you noticing a theme here? So we had Joan of Arc and Dream of Juliet. Let's go a few more in, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what is connecting all of these cards and why I am targeting them. Here we have 2 Avatar of the 7 Lands Alice. This is Alice from the classic Alice in Wonderland. And you're going to notice there actually should be quite a few Alices here in these packages. These are absolutely gorgeous cards. I love the foiling on these. In my opinion, Force of Will TCG is making really high quality cards. More Alice in Wonderland cards. I believe some of these are 2-sided. So I really like the 2-sided Force of Will TCG cards. These are often the J ruler cards. I think these would be really interesting to have graded because, you know, you're not just having the front side of the card that is on display, but the back side also matters a lot more. I think that kind of makes it more interesting. Alice Enters the Game of Gods, another foil here. Notice getting a lot of Alice themed cards, not just Alice character cards, but some of these spell cards as well that are just Alice themed or perhaps themed around other characters from sort of fairy tale or classic literature. Got several copies of these. There were a couple of these cards that I actually bought out. Foiling is really nice. Again, I just love that double-sided. I think Force of Will TCG has a really nice card design. Just really beautiful eye appeal. They present really well. I love this one here with the Force of Will stamp on it. Alice, the Valkyrie of Fairy Tales. I'm not going to handle these too much for the camera. I kind of like to just take these out and get them sleeved up immediately. Now, I don't remember this one. Oh, this must be a bonus, I think. Yeah, Flutes Awaken. So this must be some kind of extra that the seller threw in there. I'm just going to move these cards up here in preparation for the next few cards here. But you might have noticed, you know, Force of Will TCG is not really something that is being talked about a lot in the sort of YouTube or TCG space. A lot of other things are taking up the limelight. 30th anniversary, new Pokemon set, what's going on with Flesh and Blood, what's happening with new Kickstarter TCGs. And I've noticed that Force of Will TCG has a lot of nice cards. They just had a new set that just released. And maybe I'm just kind of in a particular bubble that the algorithm put me in on YouTube. I need to kind of seek out some more Force of Will content. I'm trying to learn more about the game. But it just seems to be really under the radar for the cards that it has, and where I feel like the potential really is in the crossover characters of Alice and these other fairy tale characters in here, which will remain timeless because those characters, those works that those characters come from, are not going away. Here we have Rapunzel. Rapunzel, the long-haired princess. This is another one. I either just bought a ton of copies or straight just bought out. There are several of these that I did that with. And, you know, Rapunzel, another classic fairy tale character. And Force of Will TCG, you know, I don't know too much about its health or its longevity. But if it were to ever go away, I know, you know, Rudy's talked about Force of Will TCG, and it does seem like a really cool card game and definitely has an organic player base, it seems like, and probably collector base as well. But, you know, even if something were to happen with Force of Will TCG, there are going to be people who want to collect collectibles related to Alice and Rapunzel, Juliet, all of these different fairy tale characters. And, you know, in 100 years from now, Force of Will TCG might not be around. Magic might still be around, maybe not. But these characters will be around. And there will be people who want to collect and enjoy these related items. One of my favorite eye appeal cards for the different Alice variants, Black Heart Alice. This one is just so grim, a little bit spooky. I love the vibrant colors on it. She's kind of almost falling down from the moon here. And look at all of those grids that they have, almost like, I guess, would you call this a textured foil on the front there? I mean, really stunning in person. And I've got to say, in terms of just overall eye appeal, just the art, the way Alice is rendered, this has got to be one of my favorite ones. And I love how it's almost kind of like a darker version of Alice as well. I think that makes it a little bit more distinctive. Tinkerbell, the Spirit. Now, this is one of those, if I remember correctly, is not very expensive. You can see I bought several copies of these ones. These may be another one that I just kind of bought out whatever stack was available on TCG Player, because I don't remember these being particularly expensive at all. Tinkerbell, the Spirit, another just kind of classic Peter Pan character. And I like the art on that one. There are a few different kinds of Tinkerbells. I think this might have been the most expensive variant, even though they still weren't all that expensive. MetaZoo, how'd that get in there? I was thinking this was another one of the Rapunzels, but no, this is another Juliet card. So Juliet the Hope. You can see I got several of these. Again, some of these, especially the Alice ones, can get up there in price, but there are definitely some other classic characters like Rapunzel and Juliet that you can pick up if you're looking out for them. This one here is a real stunner. Dark Alice. And this is just beautiful. Love the IPO on this. This almost looks like a Weiss Schwartz card to me. And she's got her cat there. I don't remember. Does the cat have a particular name from Alice in Wonderland? I have no idea. I do not remember. But just in time for Halloween, I think this dark version of her reminds me of that Black Heart Alice card I showed just a little bit ago. Looking really crazy, as is typical for Alice in Wonderland. You got to have a little bit of lunacy in there, a little bit of madness. And I think it's just, everything flows really well together. I don't think there's another copy listed of this on TCG Player. I mean, all that could have changed by the time I've recorded this video. But I've been picking up a lot of these. I got a ton of these in today that I'm just now opening up, but I have been picking up these cards here and there over the last several weeks. Looks like I got a second copy of this as well. Okay, so here's another great chase card, I think, to go after. If you're looking for fairy tale crossover cards, Red Riding Hood. This is a beautiful card. Now, this is one, I got some on TCG Player. I picked up the only ones that were listed on eBay. So I should have several copies here coming in. All right, I'm not sure where we left off there, but my camera, I have a new mirrorless camera that I'm testing out here with this Mail Day video, but it shut off on me. I think it overheated. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Just had a few other cards anyways. Some of them were duplicates. Got another this Red Riding Hood, and then finally, I think this is just a real stunner here, and I got 3 copies of this. A great one to kind of close it out. Similar to our Dark Alice card, we have Dark Alice in Mott or Ma'at. This is another just beautiful card. I did buy this one out as well, so at least as of the making of this video, there aren't any copies on TCG Player, and I think this is another just stunner if you're looking to target some of these Alice cards. So in conclusion, I think that these crossover cards, characters that stretch into other IPs, other types of media. Force of Will has collaborated with Ghost in the Shell, the Netflix reboot series as well. There's a couple secret rares that I think are worth going after in that I have gone after. And right now, everyone's talking about Magic 30th anniversary. People are still talking about Pokemon and all MetaZoo and new Kickstarter TCGs and just all this stuff that is taking up the discourse in TCG space. And I just feel like there's opportunity here in these classic literary characters. Look for other crossover type cards like these, maybe in other TCGs or in other monumental areas of popular culture, like those Ghost in the Shell cards. Huge anime. Anime's not going away. In anime history, Ghost in the Shell will always be, in my opinion, just a classic anime, and those characters will hold value even if the game from which they come is no longer, a playable card game that they're still making new sets for. And I think a lot of these classic fairy tale characters, Alice in Wonderland, it's huge. So getting a lot of these Alice cards, I'm kind of betting on there not being so many out there that it's, that there's not going to be some scarcity and chase to them, and I will be going after more. So something to consider, under the radar kinds of opportunities that I think have good fundamentals to focus your time on and to help kind of ignore all the other noise going on. All right, hope you enjoyed the Mail Day video today. Look forward to more Force of Will TCG at some point in the near future, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.